Hello, everyone. I don't know if I'm coming through loud and clear, but today we've got Andy from Excelsior's Domain. And I do believe in a minute or two, we'll also have Ed from Vaults of Iacon. As you know, I'm Gareth at Cosmic Toys, your one and only Cosmic Toy Man. Andy, how have you been in the last 2 weeks?
Not too bad.
No, we've got Ed. You've not been too bad at all. That's good. That's good. Have you done your homework?
Hello, Rolando.
Oh, I haven't got the chat up.
I got the chat
Oh,
up.
I'm here.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Rolando. Were you waiting for us to go live? You must have been.
There are at least 2 people waiting, I believe.
It's King Rolo.
King Rolo.
King Rolo.
And the Lobot.
And Lobot.
Yeah.
And Rolando's doing his job. Look at this. Thank you very much, Rolando. That's very kind of you.
What's he doing?
He's putting in the links.
The links.
He's very, very kind. Very, very kind. Yes, he's got his Atari links out.
No, it's the links effect.
The links effect. Is it Africa?
Oh, that's old school, isn't it? I used to use that stuff. Good lord.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone again.
Somebody
He's
say
well
Atari.
prepared for this. He's well prepared for this. Right. Andy, have you done your homework?
I have done my homework, sir.
Your homework. Oh, that's fantastic. I've done mine. I've actually got 3 pieces here.
Well, that's
You said 2.
Sir. You said
I
2.
did say 2.
Yeah, you're being
I did
greedy.
say 2. And then somebody he's given me a lot of advice regarding these streams and my other videos. And he recommended that I have a 3rd item. And the 3rd item should be something that I've got for sale in the shop.
Oh.
Because at the end of the day, it's a bit of free advertising.
You're just using us to pimp your stuff, aren't you?
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea.
It's like talking bloody Arthur Daly, isn't it? Fucking Del Boy.
Oh, he's selling them in the bloody shop as well.
Have I got everything? Just hang on.
I don't know. I've absolutely no idea. He's gone. He's gone. How's life then, Andy?
Busy as. I've got a busy couple of weeks and bouncing around the country in couple of weeks.
Have you now?
Going down south and all sorts of stuff.
I'm all bothered now.
Is that for work or
yeah,
personal?
For work.
For work.
That one's for work. Other things are personal things. So yeah, bouncing around. The dog's around as well for once, but he's not showing himself at the moment. So.
Oh, you've got a woofer.
Oh yeah.
You've got a woofer. And what have you been up to, Ed?
Working, editing, recording.
Of course, you had an interview last night, didn't you?
It's what? Sorry.
You had an interview last night.
I did, yes. Sam from Sam's Farmers on Instagram. So yeah, that were a good chat. That's not going to go out while I think it's going to be October. I think that one goes out.
Wow.
This year?
Yes, this year. Yeah. It's either October or arse end of September. I can't quite remember. Yeah. So yeah. Yes. That'll be when it does. Though tomorrow is Daz from Dazatron's Diorama Llama.
Ah, right. Okay, that's one of the early interviews that's been put back until now.
Yeah, I think he might have been in May, I think, early May.
Wow.
I'm not right sure, but yeah, there's I'm running. I think I'm getting towards end now of the ones that are recorded in April. So I'll start moving on to ones in May, and then so like I said, there's usually a week's turnaround. So like I said, Daz is is tomorrow. I haven't quite finished editing that one yet. That's I'll probably finish that off in the morning and get it uploaded so it's ready for tomorrow night. So I'm a bit behind because I would normally I do quite a bit of it over the weekend, but I was watching F1 because it were Canadian Grand Prix this weekend, so everything stops for that. And it was Father's Day, so it was a case of and Kelly and the kids were out, so it was like right on the sofa, box of shorts, big bowl of crisps, Formula One, and that's it. That was me done.
Excellent.
So there's a nice mental picture for you all.
I'm just...
Oh, yeah?
Yes. I always forget to give this a share on Facebook. So I'm going to give it a share on Facebook.
So we're going out to nobody. Well,
No.
these,
Well, actually, that is a thing with the Facebook thing at the moment. You know, I told you that these streams go Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's a setting within Facebook. I've spent hours and hours trying to figure this out.
Uh-huh.
But yes, it does stream on Facebook.
Right. So if I went on Facebook, but through your Facebook page,
through my Gareth Hardy account, my personal account, but it streams it privately.
Privately.
Yes, and I cannot change the setting.
So basically, no one can watch it then.
Exactly.
Was it to your friends on Facebook privately? Or was it privately?
No, private. Only I can see it.
So like.
Now I can individually invite people to the stream.
Yeah.
To watch it.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Or I can link people in that way, but I can't for whatever reason. It's just not going out there as it should do on Facebook. So
and your private
and Twitch seems to be doing the same thing as well.
That's really odd because Twitch is totally rigged for it. I mean, it should. That's kind of why Twitch exists. But
why is it when people say Twitch, I think it's some kind of deviant, like porno site or something like that?
Well, so you say Twitch is to me, and I think bird catcher. So yeah,
bird catcher.
Yeah, as in
Twitch is bird watcher.
Well, yes, no,
you've been watching Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, haven't you? That old.
No, my dad used to catch them.
What, birds?
Yeah.
Right. What?
The official name of ornithology. Ornithology is the science of trapping and monitoring the travels of birds.
Right then.
There you are. Factoid for the evening.
Yeah.
Gareth looks shocked or stunned or something.
I mean, I was looking at a nice pair of tits in garden this morning.
Oh, here we go.
Lovely. So just there on top of the fence. I mean, obviously, poor lass will get splinters, but you know. But what we talking about then tonight?
Well, we're doing show and tell, and you're talking about tits.
You don't want to see mine. We've gone down a cup size anyway.
Not tonight. I give. Well, the audience don't know this, so it's called Show and Tell. And I think I did mention it in the description. I gave each of our guests here, our panel, some homework to choose a couple of toys or collectibles from their collection to show off and talk about. I thought it'd be a bit more interesting. It's supposed to be into toys, and we never show off any toys. So I thought we'd do a bit of a show and tell of showing off, talking about what the item is if other people might not know what it is, and what it might mean to either of us if we've got fond memories of it or grew up with it, or if it's something we've got recently. So I thought that might be interesting for a change.
Cool.
And there's a certain absentee member in the chat, I noticed as well. Unless he's going to pop on later. Our friend Guzzy.
Yeah.
There.
No, why not? I really hate this about YouTube. It keeps putting me on top chat instead of live chat.
Top chat instead of live chat? Okay.
Yeah, because top chat, you don't necessarily see every message.
Okay.
So I find that quite annoying.
Well, I think I see comments on a bit of a delay here because I hear you guys replying to certain comments before they show up for me.
Okay.
But then again, I'm on the StreamWire website, whereas you'll be seeing it directly on YouTube, won't you? Yeah.
No. What? Huh?
What? Huh? Yeah.
No, oh, yeah, sorry. I phased out there.
Yeah.
Just,
I phased out.
Yeah, just.
I want one, man.
When you want me to talk, just prod me. Just shout. No, I'm just going to guilt trip a few people into watching.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Or in a Futurama style, it's excellent. That's more Smithers, isn't it? Or whatever his name is.
Mr.
I don't know if
Burns.
you noticed either, but I spent all of last night building little grey plastic monsters.
In the future, there is only war.
Certainly is.
I love the I've been watching some of the videos on YouTube of it. I mean, the CGI stuff is awesome.
I built 20 of those last night.
Okay.
And 3 of those.
I hear you offer a substantial discount on these items of merchandise.
As a rule of thumb, 10% off on Games Workshop products, which isn't bad for an independent store to offer. This particular box set is one of those.
It's jubbly.
What was that?
This particular
I'm
set.
going to start playing Only Fools and Horses music in a minute.
I've told you before, Gareth's independent traders.
In fairness, I did open the door for him to walk through into that one,
Yeah.
so
I've got a pile of these to sell. But no, it's one of those that's very likely to. It's highly in demand. They've only made X amount. They sold out to pre-order before pre-orders went live. Yeah, we were allowed to start a pre-order on a certain Saturday. And on the Friday beforehand, we received an email to stop taking pre-orders because it had now sold out to pre-order.
Right.
Yeah, that doesn't work, does it?
Not really. No, somebody's missing the point somewhere there, I feel. But anyway.
Yes.
Good. So who's going first then?
Who's going first? Would you like to go first?
I'm able to go first.
Well,
Because
you go first. Ed looks busy.
Yeah, I'm just guilt tripping people.
Okay.
So yeah, you go for it, Andy.
All right then. I shall begin with the electronic Starbird.
That's not a Y-wing at all.
No, it isn't, sir. In fact, I think it might even predate a Y-wing because these were late 70s. Yeah, originally.
Well, Y-wing was 70. Well, it was into 77.
Yeah.
It was being developed before then, obviously.
But this is the first version of this. This is a space toy by Milton Bradley, who went on to do things like robotics as well, which I also quite like. And this is a nice, it's quite a minty clean, complete version because it's actually got the little gun on top, which is quite. It's just on a little sort of ball joint, so you can see that rotating around. It's quite a neat thing because you can get sort of 360-degree range of fire on it. It was
1978.
Thank you. There we go.
So heavily inspired by the Y-wing.
Not necessarily.
No, and actually, it's got more play features. I think you'll find, sir. It's electronic for starters.
Playing with my feet.
Oh no, I'm not. No,
Sorry, can't hear you. Going up.
Very cool.
See, and got out the system now. Thank you. And there's more. Look, play features. Fighter craft launching off the wings, like that. You see, 2 of them often get lost, but I've got 2 of them here. Slot back onto the wings like that. That also bobs off as a sort of an escape capsule thing as well. The turret, big thruster on the back, but it also does this. See that? So that comes off as a separate section, as a separate fighter craft, and then you take thruster off the back, slam it on there, and you've got a proper little secondary ship to fly around, and it's still not finished because then you can do this, and then you got
into a taser.
You've got a little orbital ship as well. You see, that's value for money, ladies and gentlemen. That's value for money. You've got about half a dozen spaceships in one big spaceship. So, I mean, for me, growing up, you see that I loved that. I used to fly that around everywhere. In fact, I had the Starbird Avenger, which was this with more stickers and a slightly different front bit, because the front bit on the Avenger could actually detect other ships. So you could actually have battles with them, and they'd know when they'd hit each other. So you got different sound effects. But all there is in here is a ball bearing. So to get that different sound effect, the ball bearing rolls backwards and forwards on the sensors to give you a going up noise or a going down noise, depending on which way it's flying at the time. So I think that was a really, really great, solid toy. A lot of them are quite yellowy because, of course, it's quite white plastic.
May I just interject with a very brief anecdote regarding
do.
ball bearings? When I was taking my GCSE science at school, for physics, we had to make an electronic switch.
Yes.
So what I did was, my dad at the time, he was a district nurse, and he used to have sample bottles in the car, like the little small tubes with the screw cap.
Exactly what you mean, yes.
So what I did was, I got one of these tubes, I drilled 2 holes in the lid, and I put 2 little sort of like metal electrodes in it, and I put a ball bearing inside. So then when you tilted it, the ball bearing rolled down and made a connection across the terminals and created a switch. There you go. That's it.
That's it. See, and there's that.
That's a nice box. That is in good condition.
That is it's not a bad box, but I tell you what, I've got a few of them. I've also got a Starboard Virgil. I've got a German version and a French version because I've been trying to get enough bits to put a decent one together. So it was done quite widely in Europe.
Yeah.
Clearly, I'm not sure that the Avenger got quite as much traction in Europe, but it was essentially the same toy at the end of the day. So that was maybe why I didn't do quite so well. I'm not sure. There's also a command base you could get for it as well. Videos on my channel, and that was but it was really, really clever. I didn't own one at the time, but it was just made out of cardboard, and you just slotted it all together, and you got it's quite a big thing, and you can land the Starbird on it, which I thought was terrific. It's very clever. So you had to hand it to them for sheer ingenuity. Just sort of releasing something that is basically sheets of cardboard, but good graphics on it though. It was really well thought out. It had little men and a sort of crane, and a few little bits and bobs with it as well. But it was pretty cool.
Didn't you mention when we spoke last week? Didn't they do a more interactive version one?
Yeah, that's the Avenger. So if you want to see it, I can run out and get a box of one. But it's basically is that with different stickers on it and a slightly more sophisticated electronic suite.
Right.
And they did do another one as well, which I can show you as my second item. But maybe somebody else wants to do their first item first, and then we can do second items.
Okay. Well, since I've got 3 to show off, should I go next?
Yeah.
And the first one is not really a toy anyway.
Allegedly.
It's part of the Godzilla collection that I took in. That I decided I'm going to keep.
It's a keeper.
Yes. You have to keep certain things of big collections like that. And this one, we've got a little Mothra sat at the top. I'm going to have to move it quite far back for you to see it. Do it this side.
It's like top of the building, yeah.
It's Tokyo Tower being attacked by some of the kaiju. It's actually called Kaiju Tower, and it's by Toygraph. This particular one's glow in the dark.
Of course it
and
is.
The glow is phenomenal. I don't know if I'll be able to get it to work.
Have you developed any extra appendages or kaiju-like tendencies since?
No, I haven't. I haven't. Can I turn those lights on?
No, but he has developed an addiction to Chewits.
I understood that reference.
Yes, I know that reference as well. Yeah, we're certainly not dark enough yet for it to show off. You can't see it at all, but the glow, once it does work, really is
T-shirt's glowing more than what that is.
if it gets darker, well, it will get darker later, won't it? I'll give it another try then. But yeah, we've got Godzilla in like a candy blue, climbing the tower there. You've got Hedorah there, just sat on the edge, chilling. He actually looks like the what's the red monster from Looney Tunes called?
Oh, another one you mean? Yeah.
The name's gone.
Yeah.
Red monster.
Marvin the Martian chases him around.
Oh yeah, the furry thing.
Furry thing,
It's got a name.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No idea.
This particular version of Hedorah looks a bit like him. You probably won't recognise Hedorah, but you might recognise the name Smog Monster. That's what we got over in the West. And then at the bottom, we've got Ebirah, essentially a giant lobster.
Oh, the crab thing, yeah.
And
Rock lobster.
Baragon. Now, they did do other versions, sort of like in just a yellow plastic and whatever else, and they had different monsters at the bottom. Now, all the variations I can find so far online, they've got the same monsters at the top half, but the two at the bottom are different for whatever reason. I don't know why. Probably trying to sell more of the same product. But yeah, I quite like that one. I think it's cool. Mothra needs a bit of blue tack on it to hold her in place. So, so yeah, it might go in there at some point. Maybe. I don't know. I could end up filling all of these with Godzilla stuff. You know I could.
There is still a significant volume in the store, it has to be said.
There certainly is. And there's already stuff that I'm regretting having sold. There really is.
Seller's regret, yes.
Is there anything else that I can tell you about that particular piece? Came out around about 2006, 2007, so even though it looks like a 60s or 70s toy, it's not actually. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. It's
a retro look to it.
Yeah, it's called Toy. It's by Toygraph, and it's called Kaiju Tower.
Right.
Yeah. So you're up next, Ed.
No, it went. It's Andy's turn again now.
Why don't you want to do yours? Don't you want to do yours?
Right then. Okay. Well, mine is. My ZX Spectrum. Or the ZX Spectrum.
Have we done an episode of the Cosmic Council yet where Ed has not shown off a Spectrum?
No, he hasn't, and he never will.
and every episode, it will be a different model, you know.
Well, to be fair, it was going to be a Transformer, but quite frankly, at the moment, I'm sick of fucking seeing Transformers.
Oh! What was your channel name again, mate?
But yes, right. So it is the ZX Spectrum. This particular model is from 1980. Oh, this particular model is from 1984. Actually, let me just tilt my camera there. I'm not having to extend energy by lifting it up all the time. You still can't bloody see it, can you? Oh, balls to it. Right. Oh, there we go. Right. Anyway, yeah. So this particular version is from 1984. It came with a free. There we go. A free software 6-pack.
Yeah. 6-pack.
With it. I will get that because I didn't have time to prepare. I've had all day, but I didn't have time to prepare.
He's had since Monday.
That's it. I was lucky that the batteries were still working in that, as to be said, because I didn't have time to check that.
When you press the electrics, I thought, has he put those batteries in deliberately for this episode?
No, actually, no.
Right. That's the software 6-pack that came with it.
Wow.
I'm impressed with that.
Scrabble.
So you got Make a Chip, which is basically basic programming, shows you how chips work and how to make them. Scrabble, yeah. Survival is like an early game that teaches about the animal kingdom and how animals survive and what they have to do. Checkered Flag is a racing game. Chess is a chess game. And then you've got my boy Horace there on his skiing adventures. But most of those games came out 2 years earlier. In 82 and 83, so most of them games came out. And that's the 6-pack that came with this. I got this particular one well, not this particular one, but because mine's long since gone. But for my birthday, 1984, I got this particular model with that 6-pack of games. And yes, and I used to play on it loads. I was always on it. At the time, sadly, it was just a black and white portable TV because that's all we had upstairs. But I was never allowed to play it upstairs. The portable TV was always brought downstairs and put in the dining room for me to play. So that was that. And then I've just got 3 games. I could be here all day with there's hundreds of games that I've got for it, but I've just chosen 3 to back it up with. And my favourite game.
Shown us 6, but he's chosen another 3.
No, I just showed you that as that because that's the pack that came with it. But so my favourite game for the Spectrum and my favourite game ever of all time, even now, is Manic Miner.
Manic Miner.
That is an absolutely awesome game made by Matthew Smith, and he programmed that on his TRS-80 and then transferred it over to a ZX Spectrum. And it's a kind of homage to an old Atari game called Miner 49. And so that was just a great game. When it first came out, I never completed it, and I only completed it probably about 5 or 6 years ago. I finally completed it. So yeah, that's the first game. Another mention again for my boy Horace. Love Horace. Horace Goes Skiing. There's 2 games in one in here. First half of the game is like a Frogger clone, where you've got to cross the road to go and buy your skis. And then the second part of the game is a slalom game where you have to just go down a hillside and avoid the flags and the trees. Do a bit of a better job than Bono and Michael Schumacher at avoiding obstacles as you're skiing. But so that's that. And obviously Horace is the name of my second channel on Instagram and YouTube. And then my third and final one, I couldn't help myself. There had to be a link somehow. But we've got the Transformers game. And that game came out in 1985. It's by Ocean Software. It's a basic platformer game with emphasis on the word basic. It's not a very good game. But at the time, it's all we had. And
yeah, but look at that artwork.
Yeah, the artwork's just copied from the box art of the toys.
Yeah.
That's all it is essentially. But yeah, like I said at the time, that's all we had, and it was great. It was a good fun game, but it's crap, But when you're 10, 11-year-old, it's like being a Transformer yourself, and you're going around and you're trying to find bits of Energon Cube, and that's my ZX Spectrum. It means a lot to me. Does that? I've got a hell of a lot of memories tied up in that little home micro. I could go on and on and on, but I won't because I'm bored. No, I'm not. I'm just sick of hearing myself.
You, sir, can never get bored when talking about the ZX Spectrum.
No, I can't. I can talk more about the ZX Spectrum than I can Transformers, believe it or not. But yeah,
I know, I've been there.
Well, no one's bloody forcing you to.
No, but it's rude to get up and leave, isn't it?
No.
I've been there at his house when he's boiled the kettle 3 times to make a brew, but he's been distracted by talking about the Spectrum that he's never got round to making the brew.
Shocking.
I find it rude to interrupt yourself on a conversation. Right, come on, Andy. It's back to you again.
Right. So my second one, I'm staying on the same theme.
All right.
So, they released the Starbird, and they released the Starbird Avenger. But the Starbird Avenger didn't have any friends. It didn't have anyone to play with. So then we got this bad boy. We got the Starbird Intruder.
Oh.
Which was a black beastie. But very cleverly, same mold, the cockpit. What they do is they just, rather than having thrusters on the side of the outside the cockpit, they slotted wings into those apertures, and they gave it a trigger there, And yes, it does. So same principles. But now you've got a trigger at the back. So that knows when it's close to something, because this has got the enhanced sensors on the front here. So you can see it's got the two LEDs that light up, or the bulbs that light up. But now it's got infrared detectors there as well. So it knows when it's been hit, and it knows when it's hit something. So, and then the sound effects change accordingly. But it's also got these nice little landing struts you can fit onto. Now, I never actually had one of these in the day. But it was one of my sort of eBay raids that picked this one up. And it's, the wings tend to fall off, but they are sort of technically they're variable geometry. So again, it's not quite as fully featured as the Starbird is in terms of sort of play value, but it does mean that you can, it does mean that you can then fly this around and put it into combat with the larger Starbird. The strange thing was there is zero backstory on these toys. There's nothing. So you can make your own up. And it's not licensed off anything either. So it's completely down to you how you choose to interpret it. And this is the slightly more sort of whiz-bangy box that this came in as well. So you can see you couldn't miss this on shelves.
No.
And it was big and orange, and it was really quite striking. And the MB boxes, you might remember, Gareth, when I came in that day, I spotted that robotics box a mile off just by it being mixed in with jigsaws, because you remember the imagery, because they were really good artwork and they were really big boxes. So again, you can see there that they're actually sort of dual advertising. So they've got the Space Avenger on the back there, which is the follow-on for the electronic Starbird. And they also came up with this thing of having targets for them to shoot at here as well. So you got these targets in the box that would reflect the beams back at it and make it do the appropriate sound effects. So I just think they were really good, really long-lasting toys. And again, 40 years on, all the electronics are still working because they're so solid state that they just work. Because they take 9-volt batteries.
Yeah.
So they've got, they just seem to sort of stand the test of time. But between the stickers and the electronics and everything else, they're just really, really good toys. So I think I had the Avenger when I was growing up. So these are actually either side of it time wise, and which I didn't have them. But it's but I do have some examples of Avengers. I went a bit bonkers on eBay because they're quite cheap on eBay. I don't think they don't seem to have any particular massive value to them, particularly. Just maybe the little bits that are hard to come by, sell for a little bit. But
so is that one the bad guy then to the Starbird?
Yeah, if you sort of, it's described as an intruder, and it's the exciting electronic space raider. So one assumes it's some sort of piratey sort of vessel. But as I say, there is no backstory behind what it says on the front.
No.
With exciting engine sounds, flashing photon lights, and invisible interactive beam.
Yeah. So they were back in the days when a toy could just be a toy. It didn't need a mass media behemoth behind it. It was just you could just enjoy it as a toy.
It refers to them as being an alien spaceship as well on the front. There's got sort of two of them. You got sort of two of them there battling each other. So obviously the idea is that you get more than one in your household, much to the joy of the parents. So, but yeah, it was just I just think the boxes themselves are just a lovely example of an 80s box.
Yeah,
like sort of immensely huge, and they just don't care how much shelf space it takes up. Basically, it's like.
Just say hello to Gap. Hi, Gap.
Hi, Gap.
Hello, Gap.
Yeah, cool.
Did you not get up with us last night, Gap?
So just Andy, so how's the plastic feel on them? Are they chunky plastic, or are they, do they feel sturdy?
Oops. Apart from the fact that that's one's little wingtip kicks off. Yes, they are very sturdy. They're absolutely, you can easily drop them and they'd survive.
Right.
It's proper. That's the thing with Milton Bradley stuff. The robotic sets that I've got, they're virtually indestructible. They're really, really solid plastic. There's no two ways about it.
And have you any concerns of the Starbird yellowing?
They will yellow. I have yellowed versions. I have some god awfully yellowed versions. But the reason I've got some of those is that because if you remember, there's sort of an inside bit to one of them. So they're sort of shielded from the light, so they can be quite white, even though the rest of it can be deeply yellow. But yeah, I'm getting a really, really crisp, clean white one that's been in the attic in a box. Lovely, if you can find them. I have actually been contemplating using one in an experiment.
All right, retro brighting.
I thought I might do some peroxiding of one.
Yeah.
Obviously, is of negligible value, and the annoying thing is the stickers. Because there are quite a few stickers on them a lot of the time, so I don't really regret stickers. But I could experiment for the purposes of a video and just sort of see how it works, So
there's no sort of like avenues of reproduction stickers or anything like that then for them.
Funnily enough, I think there are people on eBay who do sell reproduction stickers.
Yeah.
Strangely, I think from Australia actually, of all places.
Right.
I have no idea why that would be, but it is. So I think, in theory, you probably could reproduce them if you were desperate.
Do I look yellow? Do I look yellow?
No, good stuff.
Maybe it's your
So is it on the inside of them then? Is it like a small, like little breadboard with just like resistors and capacitors and stuff like that on it?
Yes. Hang on. I'll be back.
Oh, you've got one that's in bits?
Yeah, hang on.
Excellent.
Impressive.
Yes.
Yes, it does look like I've got a halo. That's because I've got a halo, because I'm such a good boy.
Yeah.
It's that thing, isn't it? Oh, whatever.
I think this is from an Avenger. I think that's one of the little targets you got.
Right.
This is the. So that's the.
Oh, excellent! Yeah.
That's the MB board. That's got its little speakers there.
Yeah.
And you can probably see. I think, I've got it that way. Can you see that's the ball bearing there?
Yes. Yeah.
So you can see that it just flicks back and forth like that and makes the contact on either end of it. And they use the there's the
9 volt,
volts there, and they got the bulbs at the front for the guns.
Yeah.
So that's all it is. That's all that's making it go basically. But it's just that.
Yeah, I love stuff like that.
And the great big solid switch there that turns the whole kit and caboodle on and off.
Yeah, and one chip.
one solid
chip doing it all.
Yep, that's it. So that's it. That's the whole kit and caboodle. This one is actually the this one's from an Avenger, because you can see this one's a little bit more complicated. There's a little bit more to that one because it's got the extra sensors on the front.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
See? So it's got a little bit more going on there. I guess it's got more sensors to it.
Do those loose boards work then?
I don't know actually. I suspect they might. Although some of the wires are loose, maybe the sound wouldn't work.
Right.
Gap's asking if you're going to be rebuilding it.
Who?
Sorry, Gap.
He's asking if you're going to rebuild it.
Oh, I don't really need to. I've got enough working examples. This was just one I got for. I probably got it because it had some of the fighters on the wings or something that I was missing. But it just, in fact, some of them just came. I literally sort of opened the box and discovered that I had all these random bits in them, because they didn't show it in the picture on eBay. So, but it's useful to show people like you who are interested, because also it means you know how to rip apart an actual one. I mean, they're only held together with screws, so you could get into them and fix them if you had one. I mean, so I've got some where either the sound doesn't work or the bulbs have gone, But again, you could. I'm sure if you knew what you were doing, you could just swap them out, or do some sort of retrofit, with more modern stuff if you wanted to. But it's It is. It's quite. It is quite interesting to see. I smiled when I saw that I had those kind of scattered around in the boxes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Very cool.
Right then, it's you or Gareth.
It's me again.
You're 2 of 3.
My 2 of 3. Yeah. Well, I'm going to do the second one. I think that
would be the one that traditionally
the
comes.
second one I think is going to be the one that I've got for sale in the shop. The advertising piece. So it's not something from my collection, although I've been very, very tempted. And because I'm going to open it up to show it, I might end up keeping it.
Ulterior motive.
At the moment, I have 5 of them available. And it's by Super 7. And it's one of their reaction figure range. And it's a monster. Is it Monster in My Pocket? Not My Pet Monster, sorry. My Pet Monster.
Monster.
And it's a it's a bit of a theme, isn't it? It's a glow-in-the-dark version.
Okay.
And the box is designed to look like a TV. But it's breaking.
And there's copyright strike.
We'll mute him and then he can't do that again.
Oh, the mute bomb's been dropped out.
I have the power!
Pick up a flower in half an hour.
So, yeah,
He's throwing in his bloody handbags out.
It's designed to look like it's breaking its way out of the front of the TV. And even the back of the box looks like an old TV. I think that's brilliant. Let's get him out.
Am I still on mute?
What?
No, you're not. Unfortunately, we can all hear you.
Good.
So, I won't yank him out through the front of the Lobot's joining in with us. Yes, you're still on mute. There he is. So it's just a 3 3/4 inch figure. It is quite cool. I wanted one of the big teddies when I was a kid.
You're not unboxing it on camera, man. You're supposed to do the unboxing on camera. Yeah, see, look, it's unboxed.
It's magic. It's magic. 1 minute it was in the box, and then it came out of the box, and then I go, ta-da!
Honestly.
There we go. So once you get him out of the box, that's all there is to it. And I do think with all of the Super 7 reaction figures, the packaging is a big part of the product. It's got a proper little chain there. It's only plastic on it. I assume it's plastic.
When they first came out, didn't it used to be blue with like a purple belly?
Yes, blue with purple and pink.
Yeah.
But I think are all those colours the same? It's just the blue that's different.
No.
My Pet Monster. Very, very close. So yeah, it would have originally been bright blue with a purple round his mouth rather than a pink.
I've seen them.
And red hair. Red hair. Still has the green nose, but it's more of a teal.
Gap's been a bit cheeky.
Gap being a bit cheeky.
Mini version of you.
Yeah, twat. But no, I think he's dead cute. Really, really cool. And I do have a thing for glow-in-the-dark stuff as well. So.
It'd be amusing to know that my T-shirt is glow in the dark as well. Oh, here we go. It's another kaiju. He's happy with that. Look at that.
It's as if it was made for it.
It was fit.
He's happy with that.
I am happy with that. You can tell. Yes, I'm quite.
Does your third one glow in the dark as well?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Is your third one something that's also available in the shop?
No, it isn't. It isn't. Oh, even Lobot says it's a keeper.
It is now he's unboxed it.
No one's ever called me an it before.
It. It.
It's a keeper.
It's a keeper.
Where you getting? Yeah, I almost reached for my third one then, but no, I'll leave that till the end.
Have you got an original version of it then?
I haven't.
No.
I did have them when they brought the original version. Do you mean the reaction figure?
No, the original version of the Monster in My Pocket.
I would quite like one, but you know what I'm like when it comes to condition.
Have they not reissued them?
I think they did back in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, I think they did.
Right.
Quite
I remember when I was a kid, a lad I went to school with, he had one. I'm pretty sure he had one.
Well, they were huge, weren't they? They were really, really big.
And he had this
chunky plastic chains.
There were a dog puppet, Wrinkles, I think they were called. It were like a hand puppet, and they were called Wrinkles. And there were these like wrinkly looking not Dachshund, like Bloodhound type looking dogs. I think they were called Wrinkles. Let me have a look.
You don't mean it pound puppies, are you?
No, not pound puppies.
Mm.
I remember pound puppies. Never had one. I think that were they considered girls' toys back in the 80s?
What, pound puppies?
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, they were teddy bears. Boys didn't buy or play with teddy bears.
I had a teddy bear. In fact, that's another thing that I'd like to get back. my AG bear. I miss my AG bear.
Yeah, Wrinkles. Yeah, Wrinkles puppet dog. What year did they come out? 85.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lad I went to school, we had one of those as well. He was blessed. His mum and dad had pretty good jobs, so he had quite a lot of toys.
All the shiny stuff.
You know, there's something here that I didn't notice at first, and it's one of those silly little things that they didn't need to do, but when you notice it, it's brilliant. The top of the box has got vents in it, like a TV had vents.
I remember.
Wow.
That's so he can breathe until you open him up.
And that, yeah.
Of course.
You know, don't want the poor little thing suffocating.
You're not shocked that I had a teddy bear? Should boys not have had teddy bears then? What's wrong with a boy having
I
a
had
teddy
a teddy bear when I was a kid.
What's wrong with boys having teddy bears?
I've still got him.
Dolls. Boys have teddy bears.
Yeah. I've still got my teddy bear from when I was a kid. Harry, they call him.
Yes, I remember you mentioning him. I don't know if you showed me, but I remember you mentioning him.
No, because I think he's still round at my mum's.
As soon as you said it, all my memories of AG Bear came back to me, and I was like, I want my AG Bear back.
It was. My daughter had it for ages. And then I think years ago, she went to sleep at my mum and dad's years back, and she took it back with her. I think she left it there. So it's probably still at my mum's house. But yeah, it were me big sister bought me that when I was born. I've still got him. So. Right, what's next then?
I think it's you.
Is it? Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, it's you.
Right then, okay. Let me just.
I love that he's completely ignoring all the Transformers that are arrayed behind him.
Well,
yeah, I'm not doing Transformers tonight. I'm having a break.
The thing is, when I told you I was up at his house on Monday, I was visiting Ed on Monday, and earlier you mentioned about the Star Intruder being a great big bright orange box, and as soon as you said great big bright orange, I was like, why is Ed not showing off that new toy that he's got?
You can see his arm there.
His arm.
No, because I haven't done the bloody review for it yet. Everything's stacking up. You know, because folk keep bringing me stuff to review, and I'm getting swamped.
You told me to do that.
Yes, I know I did. No, and it's all good. Some photos are taken, but I haven't got I haven't got
No,
round
it's not a Care Bear.
to writing
You know,
it yet.
I used to watch the Care Bear cartoon as a kid. I never had any Care Bears, but I did watch the cartoon.
Care Bears.
Yes.
Care
So there you
Bears,
are. That's something else for you to roll on the floor laughing at.
You big girl's blouse.
So what?
You'll be telling me next you went to the cinema to watch My Little Pony movie.
Nah, I don't care.
Snow
You
White
want
and
gummy
the Seven
bears.
Dwarfs.
Gummy
It's
bears.
what?
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I took
I
girls
went
to
to
see
see
Trolls.
I can remember. I
do
remember
Gummy
being a
Bears
really
theme
young
tune.
kid. My mum taking me to Dewsbury Cinema to see that Snow White and Seven Dwarfs.
Ah.
They had like they did a showing of it down there. I saw. I think that was first picture film I went to cinema to see. Actually, that
I remember I think my mum and my dad took me actually to Southport to sit through all 3 Star Wars films when I was knee high to a grasshopper. That was pretty epic.
yeah.
I'm not entirely sure if I made it all the way through all 3 of them. It was quite little, but it was rammed. I remember the cinema being rammed down about for years.
Yeah, that'd have been post 83, would that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think they probably did. It was probably when Jedi came out, so they probably kind of ran the 3 together.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, yeah.
Well, I know that Dewsbury Cinema before Jedi came out, they did do a double bill of Star Wars and Empire, and then they showed.
The other one of those I remember was I think the longest one of those I've ever done was going to see First Contact coming out. So I think it was First Contact. So I had to go and watch all of the first 7 Trek films leading up to that one in the same day in the same cinema. Everyone left to get something to eat during 5. That was the natural break.
So the same cinema showed all the films.
It was in the Met Royal Centre. It was in the Met Royal Centre. It was
right,
as I recall correctly. Yeah. So a bunch of us got in a taxi from Durham and chugged it across to the Met Royal Centre. And up in
Geordieland.
Yeah, up in Geordieland. Hence the accent. Did you not get it from the accent?
Yeah.
Met Royal Centre.
I'm just, in case no one gets it, it's just like,
That's a very good point, is that? Yeah. I'm not really fussed over the extra viewers or anything like that, but I should at least be acknowledging the panel.
You can put ats. You can put ats to get.
Can't you?
In the descriptions, yeah.
Can I do it while we're actually live, though?
I don't see why not. You can edit the description whenever.
Or can't you just flash some text up on screen?
Have a go then. So what we're looking at,
I don't think you can click on the screen though, can you? But you can click off the description text.
Of icon. Hey, there we go. And at
Accessible
domain. What do you want me to hashtag?
I don't think he needs the hashtag, he just needs an @ symbol in front of it, doesn't
While he's doing that, look, that's what he's on about. He's on about the orange Cyclonus.
Cyclonus. Now, see, I thought it might be a unicorn or a reptile.
No, it's shattered glass Cyclonus.
Oh, okay.
Not my thing is shattered glass, but it was like I saw that and I thought, I like that.
It would be rude not to.
Yeah, very, very zesty. Whenever I look at it, I want to get a straw and ice cubes. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can. It's a figure you can taste. It's like zesty, tangy undertones. But yeah, that's what he's on about.
It's kind of sort of Cyclonus. I don't need camouflage. Shoot me.
Yeah. So obviously, like, it being shattered glass, it's a mirror universe thing. So he's the good guy the Decepticons are good guys in the shattered glass universe.
Okay, yes. I was trying to remember what the twist was with that. Yeah.
So it's like the mirror universe thing, for Star Trek, you know. But yeah, Citrus, yes. Lobot saying Citrus Cyclonus, yes. How do you turn shattered glass Cyclonus on? You ticklish citrus. Boom.
Like Sunburst Cyclonus.
We'll let him rip with the dad jokes. So what's Gareth done then? Has he done out, or has he just?
I don't know. I haven't.
Has it worked? If it hasn't worked, don't worry about it.
I've added hashtags for both of your. No, I've added.
Ampersands? No, that's not
one of them. An at to both of your channels.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, after all this time, if folk don't know where to find us, then balls to them.
Yeah, well, I don't think that it's going to get any extra viewers by tagging you to it, because your viewers already know that tonight's happening.
Yeah, well, what I'm going to do for next week is I keep forgetting every week, but I'll have to do it not next week, the week after. I can simulcast or whatever it is to my YouTube channel.
Oh, can you? Oh, that's interesting. I wondered if you could do that. Yeah.
So you can do that. So we could have not just a 3-way here. We could have a 3-way on as respective YouTube channels.
Ooh, Mrs.
Yes.
Is that where it says? Is that why it says stream this to your audience?
That's the one. Yes.
That's the one.
You just link it up to your channel. Yeah. So I'll yeah. So
why their powers combined?
Yes. Yes. We do some kind of. Gazpacho soup.
Yes.
Right, I think it's your turn again, Gareth, to show what you were.
I really wish that hadn't been on screen when you said that.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my. Right, okay then. I might as well crack on it. Right. So my second thing is made up of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little things.
Defensor.
No, I said no Transformers.
Oh, all right then.
No Transformers. So we're going to start with every year. I'm of that age, which I'm pretty sure that you are, Andy, as well. In fact, I think you're older than me, aren't you?
I'm older than everybody.
Yes, you are. Even if you're not, we'll pretend you are. So I'm of that age. I'm of that bracket where every Christmas you would get an annual at Christmas time. Yes. So my second thing is the Beano, the best comic ever in the world. But we have got, this is my other passion, which I hardly ever talk about. There's Transformers, as we know. There's a Spectrum. Oh, I've mentioned Spectrum again. Oh, shame on me. But there's the Beano. So
I'm going to ban him from Spectrum. I'm going to mute him for 2 minutes every time.
You're lucky, because this shirt came today, yeah? This shirt, which will be in the merchandise store for the Volkswagen shop shortly.
Nice.
Well, he's doing it to me now. He's making me bloody Del Boy.
Merchandise.
Sorry, where's that Del Boy music again?
Just hang on a minute. Where's my phone? But
why
yeah,
are you looking for that? Have you all checked out my Patreon yet?
Yeah. Yeah. Go and check out Gareth's begging bowl. I've told you don't need a Patreon. Just shove a few extra quid on your stuff in your shop. You'll be right.
It's not selling now.
So, yes, Beano. Right. But no, what's it? Yeah, shirt. Yeah, so this came today. I was going to wear my Spectrum shirt today. But, I thought, no, this came, so it's fine. Yes, Logan's Run. Gap. I used to have a Logan's Run annual and a Space 1999 one. And a Star Trek one as well, yeah. But yeah. So, Beano. So, we've got the 84 annual. What I did was, or what I've done is, like with me Transformer comics, I've kept just the ones from 84 and 85. Those are the 2 years that I've got a lot of memories and stuff tied up in. So we've got the Beano book annual from 84, which I got at Christmas of 84, but also the Bash Street Kids annual. Yeah. And then from 85, we've also got the Dennis the Menace annual and the Beano annual from 85. So, yeah.
I was a member of the Dennis the Menace fan club.
Would that be this by any chance?
Yes, no, sir. That was not even planned. That is awesome, isn't it?
And we can see, he's
Look
there.
at that.
A young A young vault keeper there. Yeah.
Excuse me, I don't want you distributing images of young children on
It's
my
fine, don't
YouTube
worry
channel.
about it. Don't worry about it. I was raised Catholic. It's fine. I've been around the block a few times.
I bet you have.
So yeah. So I've still got me Dennis the Menace fan club.
Yeah, cool.
You were like Oliver Twist that when Priest had done with you. Please, sir, can I have some more?
But then also as well, I've also got I've got every issue from 84 and 85. The Beano comic as well. So what I've done for this show and tell, I've just taken the first issue from 84 and the first issue from 85. But I do have
going to read them to us.
No, I'm not. So I do have all the there's 52 per year because they were weekly. So I've got 52 issues. But then you also get as well the summer specials from 84 and 85.
Love a summer special.
Yeah. Now I used to get these when I went on holiday. I also used to pick up the summer special. And then rounding it out before I give you a little story about it, I've also got the Beano comic library as well. And this I've got every issue up until issue 117, which is when I stopped getting them. So, but I thought for the purposes of this, we've got issue 2 and issue 1. And it's King Dennis. But the little story I want to tell you about that is obviously I used to read Beano a lot as a kid, and I think it would have been 80. I think about 87. I think I finally stopped getting the Beano. But when I was younger, I used to, like I say, it was always birthday time. I think it would have been the Dennis the Menace annual, book, and the Bash Street Kids book, and then Christmases would have been the main Beano annual. But as a kid, I would always read in the Beano comics and Transformer comics, all of those things. But when I used to go to bed on the night, my mum and dad were quite strict about, bed, lights out, that's it, you go to sleep kind of thing. But me being who I am and what I used to do is, I was always making things and knackling and tinkering with stuff. So what I built was, I got a small cardboard box and cut it so it was almost like a shelf shape, and I lined it with tin foil. And I got an old torch battery, some wire, and a little 9-volt battery. And I wired it up. So then on a night after I'd gone to bed and the lights were out, I could just hook this bulb up and I could still read my Beano comic while I were in bed. So, and I made this whole thing and it used to kind of like balance and rest on my headboard of my bed. So I could just sit there reading my Beano with this light going off. And so, yeah, I've got a lot of, like the Spectrum, I've got a lot of good fond memories tied up in with the Beano. And it's one of my favourite things. And I'll still, even now, every now and again, I'll pick one out and just sit there and have a read through it and have a little chuckle at all those adventures of Dennis and Nasher. And that's it. That's my second item. What's that, Lobot? Says you could go to the shops for 50p, get a comic, a panda pop, a marathon, and a handful of penny seats, sweets.
And some Transformer snacks.
I knew what he meant.
Yeah, Transformer snacks, yeah.
Nice.
But I don't think they didn't come a long while later, did they?
Space Invaders.
It was Space Raiders. Yeah, Space Raiders for us and that. And fish and chips, the little packet, the biscuity kind of.
And polos were like 8p a tube.
Yeah, and the fruit polos. Fruit polos were nice. Used to like them.
Polos, I haven't seen those for years.
Yeah.
That's probably most numbers are banned now.
I mean, I don't know what the average age is of the people in the chat, but I don't know if you might remember these, Andy. But do you remember a sweet called Double Agents?
No.
Nobody remembers them. Double Agents, they were they did them in various flavours. They did some that were toffee. And then the others were like boiled sweets with sherbet in the middle. Oh. And they were like small and round, and they were individually wrapped in wax paper kind of thing. And then they were in like foil and then a paper thing. And the logo was like a gun target sight with like a hat with an agent with like, you know, the fedora hat and the collars of the coat turned up, and they were called double agents. And if you saved the wrappers and stuff, you could send off and get the badges. And I used to have all the different coloured badges and the sweets. And I used to love those sweets. But whenever I speak to people, nobody ever seems to remember them.
Mm.
But I used to love them sweets. So, but anyway, yeah. So there we go. That was my second bit. So we're back on to Gareth. Unless you want to... In fact, Andy, do you want to slip a sneaky third one in?
I can, but I'm not going to repeat that phrase because that just sounds wrong.
Go on.
This was actually lurking on my desk, and this is one of my original childhood toys.
Yeah, Snake Rubik's Cube.
Snake Rubik's Cube.
Oh my god!
Which, of course, and it is still completely. But I always used to make it into this ship. This was like this is a spaceship form. But as you'll remember,
that looks suspiciously like an eagle.
Yeah, it might well have been modelled after an eagle. That's entirely possible.
I had one of those, same colours.
You can still get them. You can still buy smaller versions of them.
Yeah, they're not the same. I've looked at them.
I know they're not the same, but they're not the same. But
you don't know how much that has taken me back.
For some reason, I have no idea why this survived when other things, you know, from days gone by did not. But I'm just trying to.
Wow.
Because that was one of the other things you could do with it.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Make it into nice. I don't even know what you call that. Some sort of octahedron-y sort of thing. But that's it.
He's ready to do battle with Zelda.
Very nearly. Yep.
Oh.
It's quite chunky as well. But that's just survived forever. I mean, literally, you know, this must be 40 years old. And it all still twists perfectly happily, and you know, yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's funny. Now I remember how to get it back to the other shape.
I did have one of those, but the one that I had, it was red and white. It was a red and white one.
Yes, they came.
Mine was the same as that. Coffee and cream, I used to call it.
White and green.
Yeah. But I don't think it was as big as that. I think it was a bit. It was a thinner one than that.
A lot of them were a lot smaller than this. I think this was quite a large one. I think these were quite unusual. Well, I'm saying I don't know if it was unusual as such, but
it's just way it is. Sometimes some people's are thicker than others. It's just, you know, that's how it is. Stop it! Off those innuendos.
And we're back.
And we're back in the room. Either that, it's either an eagle or a tardigrade.
It was when I did that. It was a dinosaur.
It was a dinosaur.
For me, it was a dinosaur.
What dinosaur was it?
Well, it could be a triceratops or something like that. A rhino. I know a rhino's not a dinosaur, but the imagination of a child.
Yeah.
It could have been like it could have been a Starfleet thing. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. Like a sort of Starfleet astrofighter carrier.
Yeah, an ankylosaurus.
Be ashamed of.
In fact, in the comments, let's have people in the comments say what they think.
Yours isn't very thick, is it?
So go on then, Gareth. What's your third one?
Right, well, my third one is a reacquired version of a toy that I did have as a child.
Right.
Now,
good stuff.
I've got a lot of memories of playing with it. I have no idea.
Yeah, but what about the toy, Gareth?
Yes, we are talking about the toy. I have a lot of memories of playing with it. I have no memory where it came from or who bought it for me. I always suspected that there was something missing. I now know. Well, I say now know. I reacquired this about 5 or 6 years ago, and until 20 minutes before we went live, this was still in the box that it was shipped to me in. And I ordered it from off eBay, off a seller in Australia, because it's the only place I could find one that was complete. Now, I tried doing a little bit of research for it yesterday so that I could talk about it more, because for me, it's a toy I played with and didn't know what it was, but I wanted to be able to say what it actually was. And on the box, it's called Machine Men, is the toy line. It's by Bandai. But over here, it wasn't called Machine Men. Andy knows exactly what it is.
It's the GoBot battle armor system, isn't it?
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, I know of it. I've never owned it, but I've seen it on other videos. Yeah, I know of it.
Now mine had a red front, whereas this is blue. And on the back of the box, it does show you one with a red front. But all I had for mine was the main body, over here, and I had the feet.
Right.
These legs and the arms I didn't have.
Right.
So I don't know if they originally came with it, or yes, it's GoBots. It is. I think
it would have been over. It would have been that would probably
been
before
Robo
GoBot.
Machine?
It'd been Robo Machine.
Robo Machine, yes.
Yeah.
Now, when I found out what it was called, I then went looking online to buy one, and I got this. And I was quite impressed at the fact that the box is so deliciously nice.
What's is it a foam tray that it's in inside?
It certainly is. You may have noticed it looks quite light. That's because I've already got it out to show you.
Yeah.
See, the packaged toys properly back then.
You know.
That's what my diet
instructions. We have the instructions for it. And what's weird as well is it's even got Australian instructions. I didn't realise they spoke the same language as us. And I best take that out. Even in the box, it looks nice, but there is a gap in the box, so I don't know if there's a piece missing. You might be able to tell me if there's a piece missing.
Turbo, that is.
Where's the gap? Oh, right there.
There.
Does it not give you a breakdown of the contents on the instruction sheet?
No, well, I haven't looked at it properly, to be fair.
Right.
I need to do.
It looks impressive, though. So I think the smaller GoBots fit into it, don't they?
It is nice.
Now,
it is nice. Is that?
When I took it out of the box earlier to have a quick look at before going live with it, it was rattling. And inside it, I have no idea, was a blue leader one.
Yes. Now, isn't that a reissue?
I think it's a later release. I think it was.
Yes.
It was.
I nearly
was
got
released in the 80s, but it was a bit later on. Yeah, very nice.
It's an Australian release, though. For all I know, that might be the only version they got over there.
It's possible.
Let's have a quick look. Let's consult.
So yeah, I find it interesting because it is a Japanese toy at the end of the day. It's got English writing all over it. The stickers, Guardian.
So maybe you've got like a European release version of it then.
Well, no,
but
because
then, as you say, because we got
Australian one.
Yeah, well, yeah, because we got Machine Robos and GoBots, and it's
right. Yeah, Machine Men was strictly part for release in Australia.
Right.
Quite an interesting one, that.
Interesting.
But what I find even strange, and this might be just me attributing this to Britain, on the back of the box, all of the parts, it says MR, 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 MR. But it doesn't say that on the actual parts. The stickers on the parts all say GB rather than MR. So I attribute that to Great Britain, but it's probably not. I don't know what it is.
GoBots.
Has it got a sticker on it, Gareth?
MR will be Machine Robo.
Shut up, because that's far too obvious. Yes, thank you, Gap.
Gareth, has the blue leader one, has it got a sticker on it?
No, but that doesn't mean it never had one. I did have a look. Is it a yellow sticker it's supposed to have? Or a sticker with yellow dots or something?
Yeah,
had a
there's
quick
a
look.
couple. Yeah, there's two. Yeah, it's like yellow with a red block and then like stars or dots in it. Yeah.
There's a
But
sticker
yeah, it's,
inside the cockpit, but you can't see that.
is it a smoky coloured cockpit?
Yes.
Yeah, it's 85. Is that?
Yeah, it says that on it.
Yeah, it's from 85. It's the second series, or series 2.
It's the MR25.
Yeah. So well, MR25 is the designation of Leader 1.
Leader 1.
But yeah, it's on here. It says it's 85 series 2.
It says 1985G, and it's made in Macau.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to this guy. So yeah, I essentially used to play with him like that. Now I did have that weapon, but never knew how to use it with him. And I had both of these feet. But they don't connect without the in-between bits.
So, do you think that you had it complete as a kid, but just lost bits, or do you think it was picked up for you, or was it a hand-me-down, or?
I didn't lose stuff.
Right.
He says
I didn't. I was so anal as a child that I did not lose things. Like how you've always described when you play with your Jetfire, it'll go back in the box and under the bed. That's what I was like.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I came across it. No idea. But yeah,
does it have little sort of hatches that kind of close over the smaller GoBots to sort of lock them into place when they're in the? Yeah.
Well, these obviously hold a GoBot inside them.
Yeah, that's right. So you kind of go over their head and lock in.
Yeah. I never had any of them. I never had any GoBots. So I don't know how it came about that I had this. Well, like I said, mine was red rather than blue. The wings was the same colour to my memory. I think the face was the same colour as what this one is. The feet were the same, exactly the same. And the gun. I seem to remember a grey gun as well, which isn't here. Maybe that's what's missing. Maybe that's what's missing. And do I recognise those fists? No. They're not bringing back any memories.
So I wonder if it was sufficiently generic you could put any GoBot into it. It's not like a...
That was the idea, wasn't it? Yeah.
When you've got to have specific ones to build it up. I think anything would go into the armor. I think that was kind of the idea, wasn't it?
They're vaguely reminiscent. I think I might have had those. So yeah, I wonder if I picked it up on a car boot. I don't know. I'll tell you what I do find quite strange though, because as brilliant condition as this actually is in, the chrome was worn off on the wheels on the back of the legs.
Right.
And if you look at them, the different colours underneath of the plastic.
All right, yeah.
One's like a black and green, and the other one's 2 shades of brown. You would imagine that they'd use the same plastic, but they haven't done. How weird is that?
That is odd, isn't it? Yeah. It's like they just ran out one day and started producing another one, you know.
So strange, really strange. But yeah, I'm very happy to have that back. Even though I never knew what it was as a kid, I can remember spending hours playing with that. It was an aeroplane, it was a spaceship, it was a jet, it was all sorts of things.
I'm thinking of something that I saw. I can't remember. Oh God, what was it? It was when I was getting catalogues for Dinky and Corgi. It wasn't Dinky. It might have been Matchbox, maybe. And they had a really big red, but it was like a sort of car robot transporter thing. I'm not describing it very well. I can't remember what that was called, but that looked quite impressive. Not one I ever had.
Was it a GoBot?
No, it wasn't a GoBot. It was just something that they'd. I think it had sort of ramps coming off its arms. You could sort of launch little.
Oh, it's a right.
There's
What's
one
that?
in there.
Oh, he's in there.
He's in
I had no idea that was there.
That's the little Harley Davidson that one, that, isn't it?
This deal's getting better and better all the time.
Yeah, that thing that you're describing, Andy, I think it was made by Matchbox, and it was for Matchbox cars.
That sounds right. Yeah. I can't remember what it was called. It was called something kind of really, it's like obviously roboty or something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it won't come to me now.
It probably came out when like GoBots and Transformers and things like that
Yeah, it was probably
were
response
hitting.
to
So
those.
people were different toy companies were jumping on the gravy train
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, definitely.
I remember Tyco did it was under license from Hasbro, but they did a transforming train set.
All right.
That's a nice piece.
Gareth, do you normally buy things and not know that things are there? Don't you look at them when you buy them? It's something that I bought off eBay. Is this, and because it had come from Australia, I knew that there was no way I could send it back if there was anything wrong with it. So when it turned up, like I say, about 5-6 years ago, I literally slid the inner tray out of the box, looked at it, took the main body of the ship out to make sure that it wasn't broken, because that's the only bit that I had as a kid anyway. And then I put it back into the box until I could find somewhere to put it, or until I could put it somewhere safely. And that's never happened. So this is the first time it's come out of the box. So no, normally I would check things when I'm buying them, but obviously when you buy off eBay, you can't do that. And it ain't going back if you've bought it from halfway around the world. Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's good stuff.
Oh, that's right. It was a Gargantua,
Right.
is what I was thinking of. Gargantua. Big red thing.
Where did they go, man?
Gareth will be back with us in a moment. He's Gareth stuck in nostalgia town.
Does he not hold that?
I mean, maybe
Why don't you play with it later, just in case you break it?
I'm putting it together so I can show it to you.
Ah, right. I see.
That's the idea, so you can have a look at it.
Yeah.
It's show and tell, not
It
show and
looks
play.
suspiciously like Superion,
It does, doesn't it?
but it probably predates Superion.
Well, is it 85?
Clever, though.
84.
84. Yeah, that's before Superion.
But then you see, you could argue that all the Power Ranger Zords also probably predate, because the Japanese were doing combined robots long before that stuff, weren't they? So
Yeah.
So, Machine Men, Friendly Robot Battlesuit Power System 5. Battlesuit gives your machine men 3 times more power to fight the enemy robots. It does go on to describe.
Copyright. Yes.
No, it does go on to describe what they all do, which is quite funny. GBP1, left arm, just in case you weren't sure which P1 was, equipped with extremely sensitive and powerful radar, can detect presence of enemy robots far into space, analyzes the information to direct defense plans, also equipped with high energy cannon. And then there's similar descriptions for all 4 of the others.
I think we've got a comment here.
Brooks.
Hello!
Hey!
How are you, my friend?
He was
Was
shut
it
when I tried to see him.
Matchbox
Matchbox
Linkits?
Linkits. I've got a box full of those somewhere at the shop.
Matchbox Linkits, just refresh my memory. What are they?
If it's the ones I'm thinking of, they're like little white cube-shaped frames with little yellow connectors.
Right. It's not what I was thinking of then.
There were some figures with them as well.
Oh,
Right.
I was thinking you make garages out of those.
Are you not thinking of collectables?
Maybe. Because I used to use those as little spaceships as well, these sort of like white pillars that locked into orange base plates, and you sort of build up and then interconnect them with sort of roadway pieces. Apart from to get some of those from eBay actually, because I really loved those when I was little as well.
Indeed.
I just remember as a younger kid when I was still in my Matchbox and Corgi and Dinky phase before, all the franchises started turning up. I remember I had the Matchbox racetrack. They were like long lengths of yellow plastic that connected by little red wafer things that you slid in underneath.
Those. Yeah.
And I had loads of them, and they used to sort of like set them up at the top of the staircase, and down the stairs and let them go down.
It's funny what you forget you have. Got that off eBay months ago.
I was watching your video yesterday, Mark, about the first 12 display box. Very nice. Very, very nice.
Who was that? Brooks Collectables?
Yes.
Is that Flying Sub? Do you remember the Flying Sub?
Right. I'll have to check him out. Hello, Brooks Collectables. He's a new one on me, so hello there, sir. I will have to check you out.
Oh, you'll like him. He's based in Blackpool.
Not a lot. The lovely
There we go. There we go.
Ooh.
That's how he holds the gun.
This is just like a bloody free-for-all now, isn't it? It's like, balls to collect 3 bits. Where is he? Right, there we go, Brooks. I have now subscribed and notified.
And you should be. So you should be. He was thinking, I'll put it up on screen. He was
Brooks is he a local chap?
Blackpool.
No, that was Gargantua. Gargantua was the Matchbox robot who we were thinking of. Big red thing.
And he's an absolutely delightful fellow.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of his sort of like, just the screen caps, for his videos, the title cards. And there's some stuff on there that I used to have as a kid. Lots of stuff. The one that I'm looking at, the Tamiya, I used to have quite a few of the Tamiya dune buggies, but the small battery operated ones.
Anytime. I don't say nice things about not so nice people.
Yeah. Oh, and I used to have that James Bond Moonraker space gun. I used to have that. Yeah, I know where I'm watching before I go to bed.
Moonraker USA. Yeah.
I had that as well. That's on my list of things to get back at some point. As is the Liberator and the Buck Rogers Starfighter. Yes. Yeah, I used to love it. Yeah. It always amazed me that in the film Moonraker, they actually use space shuttles, the likeness of the space shuttle, but they didn't use it for the toy. I'm wondering if it was some kind of licensing rights or something like that.
Maybe.
Right, so it's now decided that I need another 3 GoBots.
Right, well, you're going to have to go get them, aren't you?
I have some you can have it on loan. This Starfighter, sir.
Yes, that's the Starfighter I had as well. It came with a little Buck Rogers figure and a Tweaky figure.
It did, yeah. Neither of which I have examples of, I'm afraid, because that's a whole different ball game, I think. But
pity it didn't come with Wilma Deering.
That's called wishful thinking.
Yeah, hubba, hubba, hubba. Hiya, Buck.
Dash Buck.
Yep. I used to love.
I love this growing up. I had this, I've got a little one elsewhere as well.
Yeah. Have you seen the Mego 3 3/4 inch?
I am aware of the Mego. I do not possess one, but I wouldn't mind one. But they seem to be quite hard to come by.
Yeah.
But yes, I know they exist. Doesn't it do the fighters? Yeah, on the Hammer fighters as well.
Yes, I think they did. Yes, yeah. I had a Buck Rogers figure, the 3 3/4 figure, but nothing else. I just had Buck Rogers.
There's nothing wrong with your videos.
Nothing wrong with them whatsoever. You, sir, are an inspiration. And you have given me ideas. Thank you.
Right, listen, Brooks. I mean, yeah. It's not exactly highbrow watching our stuff, so I won't worry about that. the Starfighter.
Yeah.
But
You've been bloody quiet all night.
Oh, look at this.
It takes Mark to come from Brooks Collectables and say hello before you open your trap. Where have you been hiding?
Yeah. Has he been lurking, though? Has he been lurking to
No,
listen to
could
what's going on?
Could have been lurking.
Oh,
Be lurking.
sorry. I'm
The new
saying
mic's a
sorry,
bit
not
warmer.
to you guys, not to the entire audience, but I'm saying sorry to one of my customers who came in yesterday and he brought me a little treat.
Oh.
He brought me a bag of cookies.
Cookies.
Thank you very much, Dave. I promised you that I would eat one during our stream, so for you, thank you very much.
I'm regretting not picking some up earlier now. Damn.
Yeah. But another things I'd like to get back as well is I'd like to get a few Britain's stuff back, like a Britain's Land Rover and a Britain's helicopter. Those, there's all sorts of stuff like all that early stuff before like I said, the franchise stuff turned up.
Yeah, that's the only stuff I've got to hand. That's Britain, I'm afraid.
Yeah,
but I've always loved this ratchet system because that gives you such a ridiculous amount of flexibility to do stuff with, from a posing point of view. It's brilliant. And
sorry, I'm just going to ask again. Brooks Collectables, does he have a website, or is it just bricks and mortar?
He's got a huge shop.
Yeah, I know he's got a shop. I saw that on the YouTube. I'm just saying, does he have a website as well?
He posts out. I'm honestly not sure if he's got an actual website.
No, I'm not sure either, actually.
Go on, answers on a postcard, Brooks Collectables. Let us know in chat. Have you got a website? We can have a little browse around.
Do we not have the internet at our disposal here?
Oh, yeah, we do, don't we? Yeah. Let me have a look. I forgot about that. Oh, links, Blux. Oh, right.
He's on Facebook. He's certainly on Instagram.
We don't have a website.
We don't have a website.
It doesn't have a website.
No.
You got the book order's figure. Cool. Now, Ed, you might be able to tell me something about this little guy.
It's Zoidzilla.
It is, but it's like a vinyl Zoidzilla.
Yeah, I think it was from the 90s, I think.
Yeah. I really like it, though.
Let me see now. Nick, Lord Nerdington, I think if you go back and watch my Collector's Archive interview with Nick, he discusses that. He's got one and he brings it up.
I just picked them up randomly off an eBay auction.
Yeah.
It was this and the Liger and a couple of other bits, but this is just really cute.
I think it was to coincide with the 90s cartoon that they did.
Yes, because Zoidzilla turned into a backup Zoid. Because they were just like secondary. They weren't the main, protagonists or antagonists in that, which is complete and utterly disrespectful. It's like that's the thing I was talking to Lord Nerdington Nick about is that. When you do a Google search now of Zoids, it just brings you pages and pages and pages of Leaguers up, and it's like it's a nice looking Zoid, but for me, Zoids, it's Zoidzilla and Gore and Crack and
Was Gore renamed Iron Kong for the Zoids 2 line?
No, Iron Kong was his Japanese name.
Well, but Gore was the British.
British. He was the.
The one I had in the shop was a British one, and that was Iron Kong.
Yeah, Zoids 2.
Yeah,
it could have been renamed for Zoids 2. It was there's OEU, and
you missed out A and I.
OAR, so original American release and original European release.
I completely forgot I actually had this. I used to think this was a Spider-Man and Zoids annual, but it's not. It's just Spider-Man.
That's just Spider-Man.
Yeah, but it's still lurking in my shelf.
Yeah. I keep looking out for some Zoids comics, funnily enough.
Yeah, you might have mentioned it in all of the streams.
Well, if you're, I'm gonna show another one then. Go for
it. Go for it. I've shown 3.
What can I show? Oh, I know what I can show you. I don't know if I've already showed you this, but
my camera seems to have gone blurry.
I don't know if I've showed you this already.
Oh.
No, right then. Okay. let's have a look. I'll show this because I've not really quickly to hand. There are some stuff I do want to show, but it's packed away.
Lobot, phrasing.
So I'm going to show.
Red Horn was my first.
I'm going to show E.T.
I had Red Horn. That sat on his leg.
I got this recently for Father's Day from my awesome Kiddywinkles.
That's never the Necker one.
It's the Necker E.T. Yeah.
God, that's so much smaller than I thought. Yeah.
Not actual size.
No.
But it's only a little. He's E.T.
I know, but still.
So
I suppose it does come with a lot of accessories, doesn't it?
yeah, it comes with a blanket that you can wrap round him. It comes with a speak and spell, some sweeties, and a flower in a flower pot, and some interchangeable hands. The only thing I wish they did put with this set, which they've done with the dress-up one, is that they have a shorter neck extension that you can swap out. Whereas this is just like he's just got his semi-elongated. But yeah, E.T. I love E.T. E.T. is one of my favourite films. You know, when we spoke a few weeks ago, and we said about his favourite film ever, and I said it was Arthur with Dudley Moore.
You're changing it to E.T.
No, I'm not changing it to E.T. No, I'm more complex than that. I'm like an onion. There's layers. Or is it a leopard? I'm like a leopard with flaky skin. But anyway, it's one or the other. Arthur is like me all-time favourite, like grown-up movie kind of thing. But when I'm in kid mode, which to be fair is most of the time, really, it is E.T. I can remember my mum taking me to the cinema to watch it when it first came out, and I can remember I had because they didn't do many toys. I mean, surprisingly now, when you think about it, they didn't do very many toys or merchandise for it. There was T-shirts and things like that. There was cereal, breakfast cereal and things. But I
got a sequel book.
Yeah. They did some small, I think it were LJN, I think, did some small plastic figurines, and then one was like a wind-up one that walked, and then there was a wind-up bike with E.T. in the basket and Elliot riding the bike.
That's cool.
Colonial Vipers.
Yeah, that's proper the original hand-drawn stuff.
Yeah. Ralph
Very
McQuarrie,
cool.
that. But yeah,
cool.
so E.T.'s me. I've got a lot of fond memories of E.T. They also did. Oh, what they call? I can't remember the proper name now, but you used to get. They were like. You used to scratch your pencil on them, and they used to stick to the card. But I can't remember what they're called, and they glowed in the dark. I'm trying to remember what they called them now. You used to buy them like they used to come in like a small book. Yes, Tweaky.
There's Tweaky.
I'm not the only one who thinks he's got a head shaped like a bell end. He does. He does.
Hope he never meets Shadowcat.
Who's Shadowcat?
Kitty Pryde.
Oh?
Kitty Pryde from the X-Men.
Why?
You know what she's called? Juggernaut, don't you?
Oh, bell end.
Dickhead. After 2 weeks ago, I'm going to say last week's after our last our little. Really? Which one of us? Which one of us?
I think it's just generically all three. I think that's the plural for it.
After our last stream, I did go straight out and buy something.
Andy.
Hey. Send a message out across the skies.
I was talking to a bloke on one of my collectors.
Both inspired me to buy that.
Did some work on that.
Yes.
Funnily enough. Can't remember the bloke.
I think Lobot just mentioned him.
Starfleet, baby.
I'm looking forward to my big day X in November.
Yeah.
What that?
him, Big Diex. You know something?
What him? That.
Him. If they'd done a proper toy of him when I was a kid, I'd have played the shit out of that. I really would have done.
Have you seen mine?
You've shown me the box. You haven't shown me what's inside your box.
The seller even put some kitchen roll in to stop the disc from moving around inside the cases.
That was awfully decent of him.
Yes, I'm going to have to leave in some positive feedback, aren't I?
Mm.
Tiny little ding in the corner there. That's about it.
Yeah, it happens.
I can live with that. I can live with that.
Oh, the polystyrene's out. Well, stop teasing us. Just show us it.
No idea why, Lobot. No idea why.
That's lovely.
It's only a little diddy thing.
Yeah, but it's beautiful.
It's a very, very, very nice example of him, I think.
It is. That is beautiful, is that? But I would be scared. I'd be scared to handle it. I think I would. I think it'd be just like.
Well, there is a video of him spinning around on a turntable, so have a look. But
right,
he's fully working and stuff. I have got him out.
Yeah.
I mean, as you say, it's kind of the thing is, I wanted to. It's so heavy as well, and he's properly metal. He really, really is. You know, I mean, it would take a lot to actually wreck him, I think. But I love the fact he's got the big sword that he never actually had in the series and stuff.
No.
You know? It's like, but even the box is in pretty good nick for its age.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm very, very. I try to be quite careful with that when I'm handling it for obvious
Where did you get
reasons.
that one from, Andy?
Well, this one came to me because I saw it on the Leicester Vintage and Old Toy Shop lads went on a European tour.
Right, yeah.
This one they found in Italy and brought back with them. So
Yeah.
I phoned them up when I seen the episode and said, "Do you happen to still have him?" Because it's one of those things that I always knew that he existed, obviously, because I've had this on the site. There were various pictures of these that people have sent me over the years, and they're not massively cheap. They're not ridiculous, but they're not massively cheap either. And I just thought it would be quite nice.
Yeah,
to actually have my mitts on one for once, and because I followed those videos and stuff, so I knew of it. But it's a nice example of, and I think it's because they picked it up, I knew it wouldn't be falling to pieces. They got a couple of other bits, but this one I think is a nice example of it because it's quite close to what he actually looked like.
Yeah,
it's not a ridiculous paint job or anything like that, and it's solid.
Yeah.
So it's just a really nice thing for me to have. So I've got all sorts of looking around here. Remember, you'll know what that is, won't you?
Yeah.
I got that in DVD, I think.
Yeah, when they made the Dinobots combiners.
Yeah.
It's like no.
No.
The Dinobots do not combine. Grimlock would never agree to combine.
Right. And there they are.
Yeah. But what they call it now? Is it not Abomination? What they call it now?
Yeah, because they have done it, haven't they? Now they have actually done it.
Yeah. There is. You can buy Dinobot combiners now.
Is it not?
Sorry, Gareth?
Is it Volcanicus?
It might be. I don't know. I have read it, but it's years ago since I read it. I mean, in and of itself, it's not a bad little story. I think it's just like a little bit of fan. It's a fan story. I think it is.
I knew you wouldn't approve, Mark, but there's a reason for it. But you were on the phone when the reason was told, so you'll have to watch it back to find out what the reason is.
What's wrong with eating on stream? It depends what you're eating, I suppose. Depends what you're watching when they're eating. So it's okay to watch someone eat that.
He can have whatever rules on his channel that he wants. This ain't his.
Yeah.
He's been invited to take part many times.
Yes. Where is he? How come there's space here outside at screen.
Yeah, you'd fit in right here next to Ed.
Yep. Come on, I need someone else to take piss out of because I'm bored of taking piss out of these two.
think I better just go and grab my dog because I think he's outside barking at something. Which, if it's fox size, he's not going to win. So excuse me a second.
Okay. See, Ed will only take the piss out of people that he likes. He won't take the piss out of people that he won't like. He's otherwise engaged.
Is it? Oh, congratulations. Who's the lucky lady? Or vegetable?
He was on the shitter.
Lovely. Don't forget low white front to back.
You're missing out the hashtag.
Hashtag. Oh yes. So yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure there's probably something else I can show.
Why? We wanted to show off more toys. Mark is engaged.
Well,
yeah, he's put a ring on every one of them.
Yeah.
Cute factor maximum.
Oh my God.
Say hello to Jake.
It's a mop.
It's a mop. He's a freshly bathed mop, bless him. Aren't you? I didn't do it, though, did I? No.
And what's his name?
Jake.
Jake. Hello, Jake.
Hello there, Jake.
Is this? He's got no clue. He totally ignores screens, generally speaking.
Yeah.
Oh, nice
big yawn.
He's lovely.
Big yawn. Beautiful.
The twins. Who's the twins?
Well, sadly, I can't bring my dog to the camera because
No.
You go, lad.
My dog is awesome. He's just full of exuberance. He's daft as a brush.
Dear. I left the door open so he could go out if he needed to, and he was taking advantage of the fact to make a lot of noise, so I decided to retrieve him.
Are you wanting to show more toys
now?
I know what I can show. So it'll be a whistle stop, quick fly through.
Wait for
I'm
it.
going to show you my
dust.
Dust.
Anyone for any dust? Have some dust.
Where is it? I've got to be careful because it's quite delicate. It is a 12-back Palatoy vinyl cape Jawa. Look at that beauty, yeah? Who'd have thought I'd have had something? And look, it's just like...
I can't believe it's like new as well, isn't it? It's immaculate.
It is, and it's unpunched as well.
Wow.
Unpunched.
Wow. Do they even exist?
I was very, very lucky to get that. But you see, the thing is, though, it's not just that. I've got a 12-back Tuscan Raider as well. That's unpunched. It's just like I just couldn't believe. Look, it was a lot. And not just that, but a Death Squad Commander as well.
Did you manage to find a sealed case or something?
Yeah, it was funny enough. Actually, I was just outside Leicester one day, and I came across this old abandoned warehouse, and we've got a Stormtrooper on a 12-back Palatoy card. Look at this, just absolutely awesome. We've got a bit of Darth Vader going off as well. Yeah. But I mean, you know, it just goes on and on and on. I mean, I could Ben Kenobi
in Mark.
Ben Kenobi on a 12-back. We've got the boys. We've got R2 and 3PO.
Oh dear.
The Palatoy 12-back goodness just keeps on giving. We've got a Chewie and a Han. And the twins, the Luke and Leia. So
Spoilers.
I've just realised I've got 12 on 12-back. How bizarre. Do you think I could retire off this lot? Right? Yeah, I could sell them, advertise them. What's that Facebook group on Facebook? Echo Base. I think I need to go on Echo Base and see if I can get them valued. You know, and see if see if they're worth anything. They've got to be worth something. I mean, you know, you just don't find figures in this condition anymore.
No,
you know?
certainly not on those cards either.
No, I know. It's just like, who'd have thought? Yeah. But no, let's not tease. Yes, the retro collection figures that I've put on reproduction Palatoy cards, 12-back cards. The reason why I've done that is because these are the cards that I remember when I were a kid, when I were getting Star Wars figures. So that's what I decided to get the retro collection, put them on these repro cards and bubbles.
What?
And these are for my own personal collection.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Matt, that's one that I don't have. Is a Jawa. Not an original one, anyway.
I do find it funny when people doth protest. You know, it's like what did you, Gareth, on that Echo base when they're telling people how they can collect and what they can do.
Yeah, that's what I witnessed. Yeah.
It's just like, no, not having none of that.
That's what I witnessed. Saying how people should collect and how they shouldn't collect. It's like, someone's own collection, they can do what the hell they want with it.
Yeah, it's your money, it's your stuff. You can collect and do what you want with it. Joking aside, I would never ever sell these and try and sell them as being official or original, if you know what I mean.
You never get away with it. You can tell.
Well, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can
as
tell.
Soon as you handle them and everything, you can tell.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. And the thing
is,
we
never want to reproduce Mark. That is one thing that should never ever be done. One is more than enough for this world, Gap.
Yeah, these are just for me, for my own personal collection. To is it leather or is it pleather?
I have a vinyl cape one, and he's saying, no, I thought your Indy jacket was leather.
Oh, Indy! It's Indiana Jones. I thought it was Chippendale Rescue Rangers. I were gonna get me. So I've got a Hawaiian shirt. I thought it were like, no, I tell you, I'm just daft, me, Anna.
No, you only takes the piss out of you if he likes you. But if it was actually a card, the vinyl cape Jawa, I know. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Could you put a number on it?
Chippendale Rescue Rangers. You've just shown a cassette. I'm going to show that.
Oh my word!
That
case was used for other things, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was just a generic case, and it was repurposed. So there were different stickers put on it for different stuff. I've seen ones that have had like Care Bears on, GoBots.
No. I don't mean that. I mean, is it strictly a cassette case, or is that outer case? Has that been used for other kinds of cases?
No, it is a cassette case, and I'll show you. It's a cassette, record, or book case. And as you can see, there we go. We've got a selection of cassettes and books.
Cool.
So we've got the Ditto twin cassette set, which is the Battle for Planet Earth. We've then got the Ladybird books. I used to love listening to them. And the assorted cassettes that came with them.
Now these as well.
These cassettes didn't come with sleeves, but I did some reproduction sleeves for the cassettes, so that to go in.
Very good.
And then we've got. I haven't got the magazine is in one of my other boxes, but then they did the special teams when they introduced the combiners.
God, they made such a big deal of them as well.
They did, yes. Yeah, there was a real... I mean, they did a really big push on them.
Yeah.
And then we've got the Choose Your Own Adventure books.
Ah.
So cool. You've fallen down a staircase. Turn to page 52. And then the last thing I'll show for tonight is a 1985... Yes, 1985 Japanese catalogue, packing catalogue.
Wow. Oh, nice.
Very cool.
Oh, which one's that? Is that Fight for Power or is it Fights Back? Oh, Autobots Fight Back, yeah.
Yeah.
Mark, Robo Skull. Yes, I've got a Robo Skull. I'll show that next time.
I think Mark is actually saying that I should show off the Robo Skull. But since as half of those figures are leaning against the Robo Skull, I ain't taking it out of there.
And besides, if you're going to show a Robo Skull, you need to show one that's complete.
Yeah, mine is missing one piece. Yeah.
Have you picked it up yet? The piece?
No, I haven't. I'll get it at some point.
Got that the other day as well, just to have an example of one of the original comics.
Oh, right. What issue's that? Is that issue?
That's number 83.
Gareth, with all the toys you have in the shop, don't you have more toys to show? I've been very strict with myself over how many toys I bring home.
Yeah, I remember that story. It's when they're all in stasis in the Ark.
Target 2006, part of that storyline. Hence why Scourge is in it.
Yeah.
I have stacks and stacks of unbuilt Lego kits over on top of the wardrobe and in the wardrobe and in the cupboard type thing that we've got built over there. But like I say, they're unbuilt.
I would like this particular sequence.
Yeah.
When an armed Scourge is so dangerous.
And yeah, he's like a dealer. You don't smoke the problem is I got into dealing them because I was smoking this product.
But yeah, talking of Lego, I got that Lego Optimus Prime
Almost
recently.
nothing at home, but everything in the warehouse. The top floor at the shop, which I eventually want to turn into a museum, which I have mentioned this to you, Mark. At the moment, that is storing my collection. They're all boxed away and just packed there. So yeah, in a warehouse.
Up there, right?
in the living room downstairs, I have a glass cabinet at the side of the TV, and in that I have my Throne collection, except for him, because he's too tall to fit in the cabinet downstairs. But everything else I have is in that cabinet, and then the next three shelves. The next three shelves are all the Warhammer miniatures that I've painted. And then in an alcove, sort of like behind the sofa, that's my vinyl records. And then the top shelf above that is my Legend of Zelda collection, or some of it. Obviously, they're not in it. Just there.
Mr. Brooks Collectables, sir, do you have a bigger version of this anywhere? Because I remember you had that James Bond gun, didn't you? Which seems to be from the similar era.
Yeah, the Moonraker one.
Yeah.
Ed can't wait to go and watch those videos now.
Like that.
Yeah, it's probably going to be tomorrow now because I've just seen what time it is.
Yeah. But if you want me to show something off, I can do.
Too late. Again. I'm not entirely sure I'm still going, to be honest, but anyway.
I was saying someone brought Lego up. I last week I got the Lego Optimus Prime, and I don't rate it. I was 50-50 on it anyway before I got it, but
I don't rate it. Mm.
But Amazon had it on offer at 105, which is still, I'd say, still 20 quid more than what it should be. What's that? I have to say somebody here has a passing resemblance to Sir Clive. I don't know who you mean, Lobot.
Should I know?
I think it means when you take that off. Galaxy gun, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, you wanting like a rifle version of that?
Yeah, there's a bigger version of it.
The Toy Council is calling.
Yeah, it was the house phone that was ringing.
I don't even have a house phone. I will show you one other thing that I had a customer to buy this. We'd agreed a price.
Boiling hot with this on. I'm going to turn that off.
And while I was saving it for him, I dropped it. And it landed straight on its tail.
Oh, no.
And it sort of like cracked it 3 ways. And fair enough, it's at the back of it, so it still displays okay. But yeah, you can see the crack at all.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, if it was just for display purposes,
Pretty nasty.
Yeah.
But it's a big, giant vinyl money bank.
Mm.
Oh, the money back, right.
Dropped it in the shop during winter when it was freezing cold, which is why it was so bloody brittle. If I'd have dropped it now in this weather, it'd have bounced. So yeah, it's like a chibi version of Godzilla.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Big chibi version. Like 120 quid, but not now.
The thing about
It's a charming chap.
From.
Can you fix it? Can you plastic weld it?
I don't know. I probably could do, but I might just leave it as it is because it's just going to sit up there now. I don't want to sell something that's damaged. But, yeah. To be fair, I quite liked it anyway. There's been quite a few things in this collection that I've quite liked, and he's a cheeky-looking chappy.
Well, why don't you? Now there's a crack on the back. Why don't you just sort of like make the hole a bit bigger? Can't you wire some LEDs up in its eyes? So its eyes light up.
You're only just figuring out now that Ed is old school.
Yeah, I've got a
Really?
house phone.
Really?
I know it is. It's my mum. It'll be my mum that's ringing.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, my mum's the only person that rings on the house phone.
I know that. The thing is, I have got other things within reach that I can show you, but it's pretty much all Daleks or Godzilla. I've already just shown you two Godzilla pieces. You can see the Daleks behind me. There isn't. I don't have a great deal else at home.
I think we should save some stuff for another occasion.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, I'll always bring something different specifically for.
Yeah, it'll give me a chance to get some stuff out of storage that I can...
I can put a request out, though.
Yeah, request.
If there's anybody watching that has the spare parts for a 1976 or 5 Palitoy talking Dalek, I would very much like to get them. I'd settle for reproduction parts, but I'd like to get some original ones to go.
But haven't you already got a couple of them?
Yes, but I know you want one.
Oh, bless you, sir. Yes, I did. That's an interesting story. That would have been.
Yeah, in fact, right beside my head, you can see my complete boxed one.
Yeah. It would have been. I want to say probably about 1980. Right. I think it would have been. Lou in Cornwall on holiday, and I got the boxed talking Dalek. And then the year after, or was it the year before? It might have been 79 or 80, and I got the Palitoy talking R2D2.
Right, yeah.
From the same shop.
You know, the thing is, I've never noticed this before because I've never paid much attention to it. But we're quite aware these are Palitoy, yes? But yet underneath, made in Hong Kong, Tommy.
Right. Oh, that's a nice tray.
That is nice.
It's a starboard tray.
Does the electronics work on that, Gareth?
I haven't tried it.
Right.
I honestly haven't tried it.
Yeah, I remember as a kid taking mine apart and seeing like the little needle and the little plastic disc.
The contacts are spotless.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why it shouldn't work.
No.
Andy, I don't know if you've seen the message on screen at the moment. It's directed at you.
Yes, rifle. Yes. So I know they exist. I just have not seen one in the wild for ever, basically.
We're getting acknowledgements. What time is it? 11 o'clock. We've been going for 2 hours.
We have indeed.
We have. It's going to be. My mum's going to be calling me in soon. I will just show one last thing, and then I'm going to have to go, chaps, because I need to do a couple of bits before I retire to the boudoir, the bedroom. And my last thing for today is Bumble Jumper.
Oh,
Bumble Jumper.
That's my last thing for tonight. Bumble Jumper. And I will transform him on screen.
that was your grail for a long time, wasn't it?
It was, yes. It was, yes. And this is in lovely condition. And there he is.
Yes, Mark. If you happen to watch this back at any time, Andy does show off the Starbird quite nicely.
And there are a number of dedicated videos on my channel relating to the Starbird collection, the whole shebang.
But yeah, he was. I had 2 Grail items, if you will. Bumble Jumper was one, which I got. The other one was the Action Force escape armor, and I got that as well. And that started me down the slippery slope of Action Force. Well, I did have some Action Force stuff as a kid, but not the extent of what I've got now. So, but yeah. So anyway, chaps, that's me done. I'm going to depart these shores.
We will take this opportunity to say good night to everyone. Then I think.
Good night, everyone.
Good night from the intruder.
Yes, it's good night from him.
Yep, and it's good night from me. And
it's good night from me as well.
Another 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, unless anyone's wanting to bring it forward. But I think we're still only doing small live numbers. We've just had another 2 people join.
What? This time?
Yeah, we've just had 2 people jump on.
Yeah, whoever you are, we appreciate it, but you're bloody late. We're off now.
You've missed all this.
Yeah, you'll have to play it back from the beginning. That's the wonderful thing about YouTube videos, that you might broadcast them live, but they're there forever.
It's always worries me.
So yeah, we're getting some good nights.
Yes. Yeah, good night, everyone. Thank you. We appreciate the watchers and the comments and that. Maybe for next time, maybe for in 2 weeks' time, if we do show stuff or not, or whatever we decide to do, maybe if people in the chat want to ask us questions,
as long as they don't expect sensible answers, that's fine.
Well, it depends. I mean, there may be some sensible answers, there may not be. They'll just have to wait and see. Depends what they're asking.
Well, that's what the chat's there for, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, if the viewership wishes to think of some questions to ask us, and
definitely.
We'll
and
try
homework for next time, then, guys. Yeah, homework for next time.
Yeah.
2, just like tonight, 2 items or mini collections like you did with your comics, Ed, from your collection to show off. But then a 3rd item that is available from Cosmic Toys.
A 3rd item that what?
That is available from Cosmic Toys. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Well, it depends. Are you up again this Monday, or is it Monday after?
Monday after, isn't it? Yeah.
All right, I can't then. Because you've put 2 bits aside for me today, so...
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Right, okay. Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
It's been a blast.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Appreciate you watching. Thank you very much.
And take care, everyone. See you all again next time.
See you henceforth.
All the best.
Bye.